it's your girl Janice back with another story time. As you guys can see from the title down below, this is going to be about the time I found out I was dating an illegal immigrant. Your girl was kind of shook, but let's just get into the video. So, your girl was newly single. I was bored. And so, I didn't want to get a Tinder. I didn't want to get all that other stuff because I'm like, people just go on there to have sex. Like, granted, I'm sure people have found their mans on those type of apps. Like, but for me, I'm like, no. Like, it's too many. I gotta pick through. No. And your girl, when it comes to dating, after a few relationships, I'm not really nice. Like, I'm mean. So I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work out for me. A Tinder or anything like that? No. But I don't know why I even get on this website. It's not an app. I'm not going to tell you the website either. It's a little embarrassing. But I get on this website and I reactivate my account. So I'm on there. I'm talking to a few guys here and there. But nothing serious because when it comes to online dating, you guys, your girl, I'm scared to meet people. And I'm just kind of like, I'm sure people want to meet. They don't just want to write each other. Like, the goal is to meet. But I'm like, ooh, your girl's scared. You might be a killer. Like, and this is when I was in college and my roommate was a girl. And how was she going to protect me? Like, no. So I never met anyone from it. But I always used to talk to guys like, it is what it is. So this guy, he writes me. And he's just like, hey, like, I saw your picture. You're really pretty. Like, I want to get to know you. And I feel like that's the standard. Like, whatever. So I just opened it and I didn't respond. Like, he was cute, but I don't know. I just didn't respond. So I'm going about my whole day and I get another message from the same guy and he's like, oh, like, hey, like, I see you open my message. You didn't want to respond. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, he's cute. Like, and he's definitely persistent because I'm like, a guy would just look at it and be like, bitch, basically. But he was just like, why don't you want to talk to me? And I'm just like, dang, all right, babe, like, I'll talk to you. And so I wrote him back and we just start having a conversation and it was a really nice one. And I'm sitting here like, oh, he's actually nice. Like, I should have wrote him back first time, but I'm happy he was persistent with what he wanted. That's how you should be. When you want something, go for it. So we're talking, we're chatting it up all the time. And like I said, your girl was scared to meet dudes offline. Like, I just was. Knowing, like, I can meet in a public place or, like, in my dorm room, there's hella people, plus I have a roommate. But I was just scared, like, you might know where I live. You might be a stalker. Like, anything could happen. But I was talking to my roommate. She was like, well, girl, he seems nice. Like, you guys been talking for a while. Like, I'm going to be here. Everybody's here in the dorms. Like, if something happens, like, you would be fine. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, maybe she's right. Maybe she's right. And so he did ask me actually that day, like, hey, like, when am I going to get to see you? And I was like, oh, like, you can come over after, like, my night class if you're cool with that. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, I'm down. I'm just like, oh, God, I'm so nervous. I'm like, what should I wear? But I'm like, we're just chilling in my dorm. Calm down. So your girl took a breath, was casual. So at this point, he's like, I'm on the way. I'm like, okay. My roommate's like, I'm going to stay in here. If you want me to go into our little center, which is where we have TV, pool tables, computers, and it's just basically a room where you can go just to chill if you don't want to go in your room anymore. So I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. So he gets there. He is so sweet, and he's such a gentleman. So my roommate meets him, and they say hi, blah, 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 and we're all sitting there. We're all talking actually all together. At this point, I'm like, all right, girl, leave. Like, I'm trying to get to know, this could be my future man. Like, bye. And so she gets my, you know, my hint. Like, we're here with it. And she's like, all right, like, I'm going to let y'all get to know each other. I'm going to go. So she goes, but the room is literally 1, 2, 3. It's probably like 3 rooms down, like our little center is 3 rooms down, so she's not that far from me. And I have my phone. She got her phone, so if I need her, she's going to be back real quick. So I get to know him, and he's very sweet. And as I'm talking to him, I'm like, he got an accent. And I think because I have, like, foreign friends, like, I just pick up on accents. Like, it was not strong. Like, anybody else probably wouldn't have even recognized it. But I'm just like, he has an accent, like, deep under here. I'm like, I hear something. And I was like, hey, I'm like, you kind of have an accent. Where are you from? And he's like, oh, I'm from blank. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I can hear it a little bit. And he's like, wow, really? He's like, usually people can't hear it. And I'm like, yeah, like you can hear it. I said, but you have to be paying attention. He was like, oh, like he's seen that I was, paying attention, really trying to get to know him for real. So he's like, oh yeah, like I was born there, but like I've been here most of my life. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thinking nothing of it. Backtrack so you guys know, this person was already introduced in my story prior. This is Jamaican. That's his nickname in my other story, and this is about him as well. Just FYI. So we hang out. We have a good time. At this point, he goes home. And we're actually hanging out all the time after that, like all the time. And so I'm just like, like I like him. I'm building up the courage to maybe like go hang out at his home. Like I'm feeling a little more comfortable because I'm like, no, like you need to come over here. Like I have protection, safety. And as I'm getting to hang out with him almost every day, I'm just like, oh my God, he's so sweet. And I'm like working up to go, over his house and hang out with him. But what kind of made me step back a little bit was we were hanging out one day. And granted, he told me his name. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was on his profile. So I knew his name. And then we're hanging out all the time. We're talking all the time now. I know your name. So this particular day, he's like, okay, well, I have to go to work. At this point, I'm like, okay, like, see you later. Give him a hug, whatever. He leaves his wallet. And I don't notice it. Like, I walk him out. I go back upstairs. I'm chilling for a sec. And then I see his wallet on my bed. Your girl is nosy. So I start going through his wallet. And his license has a completely different name on the license. And I'm like, what? What is going on? And his cards has this different name. And I'm like, but on your profile, your name is this. You told me your name is this. What the fuck? And so I call him immediately. I don't say that I went through it. I don't say anything. I'm just like, hey, like you forgot your wallet. I hear in his voice, like he shook. He's just like, oh, okay. I'm about to come get my wallet. And I was like, all right. So at this point, I'm like, who is this? Like, I'm freaking out. I'm telling him, I'm like, this is not his name. He told me his name is this. His profile said this. Like, why would you have to lie about your name? Like, I'm confused. Like, are you running away from something? Like, what's the tea, sis? Like, that's how I feel like, about him. So he comes back, and he was like, hey, get in the car. And I'm like, get in the car? I'm going to just hand you your wallet. Like, and you can go. And he's like, no, like, get in the car. Like, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, I think you should just take your wallet and, maybe call me when you're on break because, you have to go to work. And he's like, no, like, I want to talk to you. Like, I'm pretty sure you looked at my wallet. And I'm like, me look through your wallet? Like, why would you think I would do that? But he knew. I definitely looked through that wallet. So I'm like, oh my God, he's definitely about to kill me. Like, I cannot get in his car. And I'm like, but he's so sweet. Like, if you was to meet him, like, he's so sweet. Like, you don't get that vibe. But with this whole name thing, I'm like, I don't even know your real name. I've been hanging out with you all this time. Like, what is your name? Like, that's something simple. And so he's like, please, can you just get in the car? Like, I really want to talk to you. And I'm like, oh my God. So I get in the car. And he's like, hey, like, did you go through my wallet? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, like, you probably have questions. And I'm just like, I do, but obviously you're not comfortable enough to tell me if you didn't tell me this from the beginning. He was like, well, it's kind of something awkward. And I'm like, yeah, but who lies about their name? And he's like, I didn't lie about my name. And I'm like, but your license says this and all your cards say this, so what you mean you ain't lie about your name? And he's like, no, I really didn't. I'm like, how can I believe that? Like, I'm confused. And he's just like, well, you know how I told you I wasn't born here? Like, I just have, like, a visa here, and it's expired, and so I use a different name to stay here. And I'm just like, okay, like, but how do I know that's true? Because you told me your name is this, but your documentation says this. And he was like, well, like, I want to like show you I'm telling you the truth. Like, I can show you like my passport that's like real. Like, since I was like a kid, it has like my kid pictures in there and da da da. And I'm like, oh my God, like, so you gonna bring it? He's like, well, let me take you to your house. So Grace, I'm like, don't you gotta go to work? He was like, yeah, I do. He's like, but tomorrow, like, please just like don't stop talking to me. Like, I'm gonna show you everything tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So next day, he comes over, and I'm thinking he gonna have his stuff. And he's like, are you ready? And I'm like, ready for what? He's like, to go to my house. I'm gonna show you like the documentation, yada yada yada. And I'm like, oh, like, I thought you was bringing it here. Like, I wasn't about to go to your house. He was like, just trust me. Like, I want you to have trust in me. And I'm like, how? I don't even know if your name is real. And he's just like, please come with me. And I told my roommate, she's like, girl, if you go, like, share your location. Like, we don't know. Like, he's crazy. And I'm like, all right. So I share my location. I'm like, I go to his house. And he legit shows me, like, his passport. It has his kid pictures. His name that he told me, which his nickname in this story is Jamaican. It's on everything, like, his correct stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like, okay. And so, granted, I'm just like, this is new to me. Like, I ain't never experienced this, but I guess a lot of people don't in their lives. But I appreciated him for telling me the truth and going out his way to show me, like, the truth, because your girl was like, what? So his real name that's on his profile that I saw him on is correct, Jamaican. This other thing was something he used different to stay here because his visa expired and he just didn't apply for a new one, which later he does. So I guess he's not illegal, but when I met him, he was. So that is how I found out I was dating an illegal immigrant. Your girl was shook. But thank you guys so much for watching. More story times to come. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And click that notification bell down below to know when I post. Bye.